Right now, there's a protest going on in front of City Hall here in Montreal. The SCFP 301 is protesting the fact that they have not had a collective agreement with the city since 31st of December 2024. These are the city workers, these are street sweepers, these are garbage collectors, these are the people who clean up the parks, these are people who take care of the gardens around the city. Many of the people here who I've spoken to are talking about the fact that they can't afford to pay their rent. They can't afford to take care of their families with the wages that they have been given right now. From between 2020 to 2025, there's been an 18.5% increase in the cost of living, and these people have not seen much of a raise since then. And so they're supporting families, they're supporting children, they're supporting husbands and wives without any raise, standing against the city who does not want to increase their pay and is resisting collective agreements that have been proposed by the union. Just like literally everybody else in Canada, these people are being pressed on both sides, with the wealth gap increasing to historic levels. This is the most wealth inequality in Canada since the Great Depression. Across the country, there is a movement for unions to start standing up against their employers and look for better collective agreements. One of the challenges is the fact that because the rich are not being taxed very much, cities, provinces, and the federal government don't have very much extra money. In fact, they're going into record deficits across the country. BC is going into a massive deficit. Ontario is going into a record deficit. Quebec is going into a record deficit. Looks like the federal government in November will be announcing a huge deficit. The resistance seen by governments is because they've run out of money, and they refuse to raise the taxes on the wealthy that could lead to this money being plentiful once again. Quebec has a massive history of unionization. Since the 1960s, the province has uniquely moved in a different direction than the rest of the country, because historically, until the 1960s, this province was much poorer than the rest of the provinces. Quebec has a massive number of unionized employees, much more than other provinces. Over 40% of people are unionized across the province, and 84% of public sector workers are unionized in the province. The end of this story is yet to be written. We will see as to whether they are able to achieve their goals in making this collective agreement see the light of day in the near future. However, after the Air Canada strikes, things may have changed for unions around the country. On the Trail, we'll keep covering this as the days go by. There are many more protests this week.